Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this edition of NTV Sports Page. It's Monday, 23rd of May, and I'm Curtis Morton. In our headlines, Empire and Youths of Nevis secure wins. And in our feature for this evening, thanks to Windies Cricket, it's the Colin Archibald Show. We'll take this break and I'll be right back.
Eliminate breeding today. Keep mosquitoes away. Here are some ways to eliminate mosquito breeding sources around your home. Tightly cover water drums, barrels, tanks, cisterns, and septic tanks. Safely dispose of buckets, old tires, and any other unused containers and objects that hold water. Scrub the inside of pet containers, flower vases, and dish drainers every other day. Remove water from flower pot saucers and replace with damp sand. Overturn buckets, watering cans, wheelbarrows, and other containers and store them in a sheltered place. Adequately treat swimming pools and discard water from portable pools. Check roof gutters for chokes regularly. Fill up exposed tree holes, plant axils, and ground depressions with sand. If you are going for a holiday, empty toilet bowls and tanks and cover gully traps. Reduce the source. Eliminate breeding today. Keep mosquitoes away.
This message was brought to you by the Nevis Health Promotion Unit in collaboration with Nevis Television 8.
Well, I'm back and we start with cricket. The best women's cricketers in the West Indies will be back in action as Cricket West Indies host the CG Insurance Super 50 Cup and the T20 Blaze regional tournaments in Guyana. The CG Insurance Super 50 Cup matches will be played at three venues: Everest Cricket Grounds, Enmore Cricket Ground, and the Guyana National Stadium from June 7th to the 17th. The T20 Blaze event will feature 5 full days of entertainment for the fans from June 19th to the 25th. There will be 3 matches per day starting at 10 a.m., 2:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. on the lights at the Guyana National Stadium. By the way, the Leewards females will be playing 2 trial matches starting today, and they'll play another one tomorrow. We'll keep you updated. In terms of the CG Insurance Super 50 Cup, all matches starting at 9:30 a.m. Round 1 starting Tuesday, June the 7th. Leewards will come up against the Windwards at Everest Cricket Club. Barbados takes on Guyana at Guyana National Stadium. Jamaica takes on Trinbago at Enmore Cricket Ground. Now we have an update on matches played in the local cricket league over the weekend. Several matches were played in the local cricket league on Nevis over the weekend. Here are the summarized scores for the matches played on Saturday, 21st May. Highlights: 1 versus Empire. Empire 237 for 8, Adelvin Philip 80, Rakesh Subnarine 44 not out, Andre Brown 41, Rian Solomon 35. Adrian Williams, Light Brown, Tyree Jeffers, Tyler Nisbet all got 2 wickets each. Highlights: 1 in response, 142 all out, Patrice Nisbet top scored with 30, Tyler Nisbet 20, Tyree Jeffers 19. T1 Prentice bagged 3 for 20, Rakesh Submarine 2 for 20, Manners and Brown 1 wicket each. Empire won by 95 runs. Youths of Nevis versus Calypso. Youths of Nevis 237 for 5 in 35 overs. Malik Wallace 89, Bugdarain Sharma 76, Anand Bim 56 not out. Tiger Brown 2 for 28, Frank Munzak 2 for 52, Derek Parry 1 for 31. Calypso in response 226 for 6, Delroy Cornelius 105 not out, Chevron Jeffers 35, Tiger Brown 33. Asim Burgamajet, he picked up 2 for 36, Sharma, Weeks and Ramnarain 1 wicket each. Youths of Nevis won in that close encounter by 11 runs. Man of the match, Delroy Cornelius. We'll take this break and I'll be back with our feature for this evening.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
Well, I'm back, and tonight we feature cricket. If the way the Leewards Hurricanes devastated the Trinbago Red Force team is anything to go by, then residents across the Caribbean are in for a terrible hurricane season upcoming. In the recent regional encounter, the Leewards Hurricanes team dominated every single day and did not allow the home team to get back into the game. Outstanding performances came from Jeremiah Louis, Colin Archibald, Yannick Correa, Jaden Seals, skipper Raheem Cornwall, and the ultimate man of the match, Kyron Powell. The Leewards wrapped up the game on day 4 despite stout resistance from Correa, with captain Raheem Cornwall coming into his own to seal the deal for the Leewards team. Summary scores: Leewards 357 all out, Kyron Powell 139, Jeremiah Louis 42 not out, Casey Carty 31, Terence Ward 26, Colin Archibald 21, Jaden Seals 5 for 49, Gabriel Chaz, Hussein Karaya and Mohammed 1 wicket each. Trinidad and Tobago 140 all out, Joshua De Silva 65, Brian Chaz 25, Colin Archibald 4 for 27, Jeremiah Louis 4 for 32, Walsh and Burridge 1 wicket each. Leewards second time around, 241 for 7 declared. Devon Thomas 84, Karen Powell 83, Munson Hodge 39, Yannick Correa 3 for 33, Akil Hussein 2 for 64. Trinidad and Tobago 271 all out, Yannick Correa 100, Jason Mohammed 36, Jaden Seals 33, Raheem Cornwall 4 for 50, Jeremiah Louis 3 for 31, Sheena Burridge 2 for 30. Leewards won by all of 187 runs. In terms of other matches played, Guyana versus Barbados. Guyana 490 for 7 declared, Barbados 266 all out. Second time around, Barbados 291 all out, giving the Guyana team some 67 runs to win. Craig Brathwaite, by the way, got 111. So Guyana, needing 67 for victory, got to 71 for 5. Tajina Ryan Shandapal top scored with 23 not out. Akeem Jordan picked up 4 for 31. Jamaica versus Windwards. Windwards 137 all out. Jamaica 346 all out. Windwards second time around 195 all out, getting effectively a 2-1 there. Devil Green 5 for 46. Jamie Merchant 5 for 72. Jamaica won by an innings and 14 runs. Well, thanks to Windies Cricket, we now bring you what I refer to as the Colin Archibald Show.
Picked up the length very early and he was on the back foot. He was pivoting on the back foot, almost lost his balance. But by that time he had made proper contact, hit the middle of the bat. Just a couple meters away from that deep mid-wicket boundary, there's a man down at backward square leg, but he had absolutely no chance. So Anderson Phillip coming in for some rough treatment. He was driven back powerfully through extra cover his previous over with the first over of the new ball, and now pulled over mid-wicket for one that almost went for 6.
323 for 8. Thinking of the single, Archibald was a little late in. I don't think he was interested in the single. And Jeremiah Louis delivery again, just short of a length, and he was waited for it and pushed it out towards the point position. I think he's waiting for that ball to be pitched up to him to try to go over the top, or the short delivery where he's pulling.
That was well played. That was a pretty good delivery on the stumps, just back of a length, and he was right in behind it, eyes right over the ball when he made contact. So he has pretty good technique as well. Oh, that's a good delivery.
Wide signal by the umpire.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because if you looked at Louis, I don't think he ducked. He just nodded his head.
Well, this is a 4-day game, Colin.
Yeah, but a wide is a wide, Anil. If I don't think Louis, even if he had, I mean, if he was 6'8", he probably would have struggled to reach that.
I don't think it was all that high because he had the duck.
I'm not sure if he ducked or more nodded his head.
That's a rough call, really. Oh, this one probably is a bit higher. Isn't that higher?
No.
Oh, he's been warned.
Yeah, he's got 2. That I thought that one Louis actually had to get out of the way.
A little surprised by those 2 calls.
You were always surprised by umpires' calls, especially when you get LBW. Sorry, so I'm not surprised that you are. 324 for 8. Here is Anderson Phillip. Jeremiah Louis gives you the impression that he's just going to stay there and play everything on merit. But if you pitch it up to him, he's looking to go over the top of maybe mid-off, mid-on. And if you bowl him short, he's going to pull. But if you could just tie him down, bowl that just short of a length, he's just going to defend. Got to look for a single, though. I would think he would want to take more of the strike than expose Colin Archibald. That's 4 runs. He's found the gap. That's a good shot. Short, and he was on that back foot. He cut it, and he hit it between point and gully down to the boundary for 4. That's a good shot. So he's getting some runs here, and he's building this total. They're now 328 for 8. Remember, they started the morning on 308 for 7. I would think that the Red Force would want to get this Leeward Islands team out for less than 350.
Well, they've got to deal with Jeremiah Louis, because he is really leading the fight now for the Leeward Island Hurricane with the lower half of their batting, and he's doing a pretty good job at that. He is playing very watchful for the good deliveries and dispatching the bad deliveries.
He's on 35 already. And that's another big pull. That's gone for 6. Oh my word, what a shot from Louis. That is an absolutely magnificent shot. It was short, it asked to be hit, but boy oh boy, did he hit it. It went beyond. There's a man down at that deep backward square leg. He just had to look skywards as that ball was sailing past him. And what a good shot from Louis. He is into the 40s now. He is on 41 from 41 deliveries. He's hit 6 4s and 2 6s. This has been a super knock from this lower order batsman. And he's propelled the Leeward Islands now to 334 for 8. And when you think of it, when you think of it at 334 for 8, there we see a couple of the spectators. It looks like one looks like Morgan Bravo, John Bravo, who is Darren Bravo's father, making his way into the ground. Well, obviously he's come to see his son bat today. But what a good shot. As a matter of fact, he has scored all the runs today, bar that wide. Louis has, they've added 308 to, it's now 334. So they've added 26 runs. And Louis was on 16 not out overnight. And he's gone to 41. Whoa! What a shot from Colin Archibald. Well, it's raining 6s here in Diego Martin, because Jaden Seals, the very first delivery Colin Archibald faced, he smacked it high over long on. Well, that came as a surprise. Jaden Seals is walking, he's looking around at what happened there, because he's unsure. That was pitched up to Archibald, and he just smacked it, Anil, high over long on.
Well, I told you that they were going to get some resistance from the remaining 3 wickets, and they are doing it in emphatic style. 2 huge 6s and that pull shot there by Jeremiah Louis. Wow, that reminded me of Sir Vivian Richards, Colin.
Ooh, boy, that's high praise.
Yeah, that man was in the wicket as quickly as Sir Viv used to do it, and pulling with all the power. There was a man down at backward square leg.
And there he goes again, and that's more runs. That's probably going to run into the boundary. It's going to get there just about now. That's 4 more runs. So what's happening here? Is this a 4-day game? Because we've had 16 runs from the last 3 deliveries. Archibald is on 10 now from just 2 deliveries.
Well, he has the ability to hit the ball. You can see that from those last 2 deliveries. A huge 6 down over straightish mid-wicket. Now a pull on the ground through mid-wicket for another 4. A 6 and a 4 in 2 deliveries.
All of a sudden, Anil, the field is well spread. There's just one slip on a gully. There's a point cover mid-off, and then on the onside, there's a mid on a mid-wicket, a deep backward square leg, and a fine leg. A 5-4 field, a new ball, and the number 10 batsman is on strike.
I think he has to bowl the offside, just outside off stump line.
He's looking to have another big crack. Well, the intention is clear.
I would have gone for the man down at the deep straightest mid wicket. And I would have been bowling the off stump just outside off stump line, probably with a point on the boundary as well. Let him take it from out there because he seems intent at going at anything.
Yeah, the intention is very clear that they're not going to push and prod, and it's a new ball.
Well, having said that, I see that Jeremiah Louis just had a chat with him. I don't know if he's asking him to probably cool it because Jeremiah is playing beautifully. Ooh.
Well, that's one. He
Has he
was
been
looking to
struck?
pull it. Where did that hit him?
Yeah, he looked as though he was struck with that one.
Yeah, well, it's the end of the over. Just have a look at where did that hit. No, it's not the end of the over yet. Let's just see. Did that hit him on the back of the helmet, is it? Well, they've got to have a check. Because once that ball hits the helmet, they're going to have that check, the concussion
Test.
check.
Test, yeah, they would do a
test,
concussion
just to make
test.
sure he's all right. But he was looking to pull that delivery. Didn't have his eyes on the ball at all. And he just stood there, swung at it, and in so doing, pivoted, and the ball struck him on the back of his helmet.
Yeah, he was in line with the delivery, and then he took his eyes off the ball. It appeared as though the ball came off much slower than he was anticipating because he was almost through the shot and then turned his head. Well, let's hope that he's okay.
He seems to be all right. There's no doubt that because he didn't seem when he got hit, he just more or less shrugged it off.
The helmet does a pretty good job, Colin.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You feel so well protected now with the helmet. The amount of players gets hit nowadays in terms of the helmet because they no longer try to get out of the way even to play the shot. They play the shot and think, well, even if they miss it, the helmet is protection. But sometimes the helmet, depending on the blow, the helmet is not all that much in terms of the protection, and you can get concussed. He's pulling that one. He's kept it down. Goes out to Mohammed, who is at that deep backward square. That's not a bad shot because, importantly for him, he kept it down.
Yeah, that was very well controlled because there were two men behind square on the leg side. There's a fine leg and there was a backward square leg on the boundary. So if he had played that pull shot uppishly, good technique in rolling the wrists on contact and keeping it on the ground.
346 for 8, or 345, sorry, for 8.
So at this stage, even as of yesterday, Colin, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force seemed as though they were probably chasing the game.
That's a good delivery from Jaden Seals. Louis, the happy hooker, was just getting out of the way and allowing it to go through to be taken by Da Silva. So the end of the over from Jaden Seals, the first time he's really been roughed up. 11 runs coming from the over. And at the end of it, the Leeward Islands continue to battle on here at the Diego Martin Sporting Complex. They are 345 for 8.
Just to give you an up-to-date on proceedings at the other two matches, Windward Island up against Jamaica at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy yesterday evening. Jamaica, they closed on 118 for 4. Yeah, they closed on 118 for 4, Jamaica. That was in reply to the Windward Islands being all out for 137.
They've lost another wicket, Anil. They're now 136 for 5.
Well, there you have the latest, 136
Yeah,
for 5.
136 for 5. They're just one run away from taking.
Yeah.
Actually, the Windwards, they've come back nicely because they probably need to dismiss the Jamaicans for maybe 175 or thereabouts, because if it's too much of a lead, they could be facing an innings defeat. So they've got to get them for maybe 175 and try and, of course, bat better in the second innings and get to somewhere in the vicinity of 300.
Yeah, very much so.
Shannon Gabriel. And immediately, Archibald has a swing at this, doesn't make contact. So Shannon Gabriel replacing Anderson Phillip. And Gabriel certainly looked fit yesterday. We keep saying that he's worked hard on his fitness. Came off the field, but we understand had nothing to do with any aches or pains or problems he had. We understand that it was a clothing problem he had. His wardrobe malfunctioned. And when he had to go off the field, it certainly, which is good news in terms of at least it wasn't a fitness problem or an ache and a pain or a muscle giving him problems. He has worked very hard on his fitness. Let's just hope he can keep and stay fit. This is another big shot from Archibald. Well. Don't these guys realize the two West Indian fast bowlers are bowling? Shannon Gabriel and Jaden Seals? Well, and that's the 350 up with that shot. It was short. He got onto the back foot and he hammered it high over mid-wicket for 6. That's a really good shot from Archibald. He goes on quickly to 17 from just 7 deliveries he's faced. And it's now 351 for 8. Anil Raja.
Well, he's looking like a frontline batsman. I think everything was right there. The timing, the power, the technique as well. And he hit it a long, long way over straight mid-wicket. And Shannon Gabriel, the West Indian fast bowler, being roughed up here at the Diego Martin Sporting Complex.
Have a look at this field now. This is a West Indian fast bowler with a new ball. And they're bowling to number 10, Archibald. There's just one slip now. And, he's even going to a sort of straightish gully. So there's a deep point, a cover mid-off. There's a third man, and then that straightish gully. So 5 men on the offside, then on the 4 on the onside. There's a long on, a mid-wicket, a deep backward square leg, and a fine leg. And it's flicked away again. That's 4 runs. That's all he did, was to get on the front foot. And he flicked it over to the right of the man at mid-wicket and down to the boundary for 4. Archibald.
Oh, that was another top shot.
He strides on to 21 now from 8, and it's 355 for 8. But another top shot, isn't it?
Yes, he whipped that ball. It was just short of a length, and I don't know where he got the power from. There was no high back lift, and he really just whipped that with a lot of butt of hand, and it raced away down to another straight mid-wicket for another boundary.
Anil, this field now, this is a T20 field. He's got a long on.
No, you're only allowed 5 outside the circle in a T20.
My apologies.
He's got 6 now.
Yeah, you're quite right. 6. He's got 6. Because on the onside, there's a long on, a deep mid wicket, a deep backward square leg, and a fine leg.
Well, he's very capable batsman. Very attacking, very attractive to look at. And this is a good battle here. Chantry Red Force really coming under the gun now here by the Leeward Islands Hurricane. And the thing about it is that Jeremiah Louis keeps talking to him every minute. I wonder what is he telling him, because he doesn't seem to be listening. He's doing what he's doing all the time.
Well, he could be telling him, keep going.
Yeah, because Louis is batting extremely well as well.
You know, Gabriel, he's got to look for the Yorker.
Trinidad have got to get this wicket quickly.
Even if he gets the Yorker and gets it wrong, it means that Archibald still has to come on the front foot. He seems to be favouring the short ball and pulling the short ball.
Well, what's Gabriel's figures there, Colin? 1 for
61.
Aye. Not an attempted hook here. Didn't make contact this time. Down the leg side.
Gabriel has to wait on the ball from the wicketkeeper because there's nobody else on the onside close enough to relay it to him.
Well, he was having a chat there with the batsman. Archibald didn't look to respond, but I'm sure that Gabriel is pretty upset at this point. 6 men trying to save the boundary. He's got 4 on the leg side, and One I'm seeing. Yeah, just one on the offside this time. That's the third man. There's a fine leg, a square leg on the boundary, a deep mid wicket, and a long on the onside. No one saving the single on the onside.
But
No slip as well, Colin.
I was about to say that. There's no slip in place. There's just, I would think, more of a straightish gully. He's gone after him again. Another big heave from, this is a no ball now from Shannon Gabriel. So nothing is going right at the moment for the Red Force.
Well, they're really up against it. As I was saying earlier on, even from last night at the close of play, I thought that Trinidad and Tobago Red Force were trailing the game. So they are really now up against it. This is a very good total. What we spoke about earlier on, Colin, that the team that has the bat last night, there certainly is going to be some spin and turn. And I'm sure that the big man Jimbo, Raheem Cornwall, is going to be more than a handful on this pitch on day 3 and 4, and also Hayden Walsh. So TNT really under the gun now here at the Diego Martin Sporting Complex, and you can see that just having a look at the field placement here.
Well, he's played a defensive shot. So the end of the over from Shannon Gabriel. And at the end of it, the Leeward Islands, they are 356 for 8. Colin Archibald is on 21 from just 12 deliveries faced. And Jeremiah Louis, he's on 41 from 42 deliveries faced. So it just goes to show. And when you looked at it, we started the morning on 308 for 7. So they've added 48 runs in how many overs this morning? I think 6 overs. Just 6 overs. So you talk about run rate, Anil, 8 runs and over?
Yeah, well, this period has been the highest run rate that the Hurricanes have had throughout the innings. And what clean power hitting we've seen here. We haven't seen Jeremiah Louis faced for a while now. And he was timing the ball so sweetly.
So here's some of the bowling figures. Gabriel, he's picked up 1 for 62, Seals 3 for 48. Philip yet to get a wicket, none for 58. Brian Charles, he's picked up 1 for 78. Akil Hussain, 1 for 50. Well, we've seen none of them bowl the spinners, of course, today. Single for Louis, getting right in line and then just turning it down to the fine leg position. It was on that back foot. So this should be an interesting contest again. Jaden Seals to Archibald. He's going to take, there's no doubt he's going to take the ball up to Archibald. Now, how will Archibald react? Is he going to try to go over long on? Is he going to try to go over long off? Or he may very well try to hoik it somewhere in the vicinity of Cow Corner. But I don't think he's going to play long forward. And there he goes. But he's bowled just as I anticipated. He was looking to go high over long on. And let's have a look at the replay. Bowled middle and leg stump by Jaden Seals, and that's it. Take the ball up to Archibald. He had a swing at it, didn't make contact, and there was Jaden Seals. You miss, I hit. No doubt Brian Charles is going to continue. He's replaced the man we've been talking about, Jaden Seals, and he's going to bowl around the wicket to the left-handed Kieran Powell. Powell long forward.
So this cherry is still practically new, Colin. What are your expectations from the spinners?
Not very much. But here's Powell down the track, and he's lifted it high over long on. It's not going to get very much turn. That's 6 runs.
Well, that's our package for this evening. I am Curtis Morton, reminding you that you can watch sports if you're not fit. But to play sports requires fitness, diligence, and sacrifice. Have a good night.